Hi, my name's Elaine Ross. I'm Global Brand Director for Aquila Catamarans. I'm aboard the all-new Aquila 42 Coupe. We're going to take a tour on board, take a look at the bow, navigation center, cabin space, salon, and galley. But first, we're going to step back into the aft cockpit and see all the new innovations that the engineering team at Aquila has brought to market and why the 42 Coupe is going to be a perfect boat for your boating experience. On the starboard side, this owner has equipped this boat with an induction grill cooktop by Kenyon, which is a really nice feature to have on board whether you're cooking in the evening or if you're at anchor and having lunch. It can also be equipped with a gas plancha if you so prefer. Down below, this owner again has optioned this boat as a refrigerator. Alternatively, you can option it as an ice maker. Behind me, you'll see that we've got a very nice opening to the salon and galley area. These panels, it's a 3-panel system, so they either slide all the way to port or all the way to starboard, or you can have an opening in the center. So very nice capacity to open up and connect your aft cockpit to your salon and galley area. Above me, you'll see that we've got a very nice shade system, which is all important these days with the strength of the sun. Moving over to the port side, this is where we control the sunshade system. So we've got a simple push button system, which is in and out. Currently it's out, so I'll demonstrate pushing it in. You simply tap the button in one time. If you want to stop at midpoint, you hit it again. And then if you want to extend it out, one touch, and it maximizes the reach outboard or towards the aft. Below that, you're going to see we've got a 30-amp shore power connection. And then on the outboard side, you'll see we've got a step up, as well as a water in-deck fill, as well as a diesel deck fill. These will be for your port side cabin. Above, you've got a generous stainless steel handheld, again with the step up, and you'll see down the gunnel. You can actually step up onto the gunnel, walk all the way down to the bow. On top of the hardtop, there's a recessed stainless steel handrail system. So as you step up here, you simply grab a hold of this, step up, and then a step up onto here, and you can transition all the way to the bow. So a really nice feature for when you're docking, or if you have another boat that's coming alongside you and wants to tie up. On both the port and starboard side, we have side boarding gates, which come standard. These are essential for when you're tying alongside to a fixed or a floating dock. You have easy access on or off the boat. They're easy to operate. You simply push the button, lock it in place, or vice versa when you're opening it. Inboard of that, you'll see we've got our engine compartment hatch. These are uniform on both port and starboard side. We'll take a look at the port side and go through some general specifications quickly. The owner of this boat has optioned the power with the Volvo Inboard DPI 400 horsepower. Alternatively, you can option the boat with Mercury V10 400s or Mercury V10 425s. Both engine packages are phenomenal. We do a lot of boating over in the Bahamas. The outboards are great. But if you're doing great loop or you're over here in the Med and Cannes like we are today, you know, Volvo Penta, they're a great option for you. They really perform well on the Coupe. They're also come in very handy in terms of efficiency, speed, and performance when paired with the foil system on board. The foil comes standard. It's a carbon fiber fixed foil that transverses between the two hulls. So there's no making adjustments. The lift of the boat picks up about 40% of the boat and essentially is based off of your throttle input and the speed that you put into the boat. So it's a very simple system. You don't have to think about anything. It just operates as it should and lifts the boat and creates a lot of efficiency, a lot of comfort on board. Again, this is standard. It is a carbon fiber foil, but in the rare case, if you don't want to have the foil, you can option without the foil. But we find that most clients are purchasing the boat with the foil simply because of the fuel efficiency that is gained and the comfort. Aft of the engine compartment, you'll see that we've got 2 sun loungers on both port and starboard side. You've got multi-position backrests that can, in this position, they're facing aft. We can bring them forward also, which is going to bring a connection between your aft cockpit and your salon seating. Or if you want to extend and lay completely flat, you can pick them up and then lay them flat, and that's going to give you a full flat sun lounging area. Again, very easy to operate. Simply pick up, they drop in, and then you're facing aft or you're facing forward. So it's something at Aquila the engineers take seriously, is safety on board. So whether you have little ones or pets on board, being able to close off access to your aft deck is very important. So what we have on board on both the port and starboard side as well as center line is a safety gate. So it's very simple to operate. You pick it up, swing it, and lock it in place, and it's that simple. So that way you can close off everything forward of your gates, and so nobody accesses the aft deck while you're underway. Something that Aquila carries down from our yacht line is our full swim ladder system. So it's very easy to operate again, but what you'll see when I deploy it, it's got very nice teak steps, but the most important thing is very large handles. So whether you're scuba diving or snorkeling or little kids are getting in and out of the water, you have very nice handles to hold on to. So as you'll see as I demonstrate, again, very simple to operate. Open the hatch, slide this aft, push down to release the safety pin, and then up. This is a safety lock, goes in, lower it down. So again, as you see, very large handles to grab hold of as you go in or out of the water. Nice steps, makes life on board so much easier. And just below me on the inboard side, you're gonna see there's 3 locations here. Forward is our city water connect. So if you are connected at the marina to city water, easy inlet there. This one is your freshwater connection for your hose pipe to spray down your aft cockpit area. And then this on both sides, port and starboard. I'm just gonna flip the seat forward. So if you push this button in and lift up, you're gonna see you've got a lot of storage underneath there. And again, that's both on port and starboard side. It's a very nice place to throw your fenders, dock lines, water toys, whatever you want back there. Now, we're gonna move forward into the salon and galley. Moving forward into our galley on the starboard side, you'll notice that we've got an L-shaped galley. We have a single sink, farm-style sink, extendable wand. We have a 2-burner Kenyan cooktop, induction cooktop, as well as a microwave. We've got storage above, drawer storage below, as well as our trash and rubbish bin area. And then behind here, we've got access to our refrigerator. Down below on the deck hatch area, we have access into our mechanical space on the starboard side. We have access to our black water tank, as well as our air conditioning pump. Center line of the boat, we've got access to our house battery system. Standard on board comes 2 AGM 200 amp hour batteries. The owner of this boat has equipped it with our Master Volt package. On the port side is access to the port black water tank as well as mechanical systems in the port space, and that's accessed through this hatch here. The salon table is a high-low pedestal table, fixed comes standard. The owner has optioned this boat with a high-low pedestal table, so this does lower down into a sleeper position with a filler cushion. So if you do have overflow sleeping needs on board, this does convert over to a sleeper, or you can have it at a coffee table height or at a dinner height, which it is currently at now. So as you can see, very generous seating here. You can put some loose chairs around here, and if you were to move the sliding glass doors all the way over to the starboard side, you could have additional seating on that end of the table. So a very nice seating area. Corian countertops, so lots of prep area here. You have additional space here for knickknacks to put up here. So a nice work surface area here. You have integrated cell phone chargers built in throughout the boat, so you're going to find these hockey pucks. One happens to be right here. You'll find them down in the cabins, as well as a navigation station. Additional seating capacity in the salon is up forward here. This is actually probably one of my favorite seats on the 42 Coupe because you are a little bit raised. You get very clean line of sight out of here, and it's just a very comfortable position to be underway. Aft of this seat, you've got access to your port cabin, which we consider our primary cabin or master cabin on the port side. And on the starboard side, you have a staircase going down into your guest cabin. Stepping into the helm station, you can see that she is very generous in size, takes full advantage. We have a very clean line of sight, 2 large MFDs. Below that forward, you'll see we have push buttons for access to our bow area through our electric actuated door. Below that, we've got push buttons for controlling our sunroof, which is above me or just slightly above and aft of me. We have 2 cup holders, one positioned here and one outboard of me on the starboard side. Port MFD is our C-zone. Aquila uses C-zone as the backbone of our operating system of the boat. So within C-zone, we have different functions. When you step on board, you have an on-board function that you hold until it beeps, and then it activates your lights and different boat systems. It's all programmable. We have standard programs that we provide from the factory that come equipped as OEM, but you can go through your C-zone programming and set it up your own way if you wish. But again, very nice feature to be able to monitor and control your boat systems on board. Just to the right or outboard of that, we've got our Volvo Penta display. Again, this boat's been equipped with the Volvo Penta 400 horsepower. If you were equipped with the Mercury 400s or the 425s, you would have your Mercury vessel view control MFD right here. Below that, we've got access to our windshield wiper system. It is also a freshwater flush, or not freshwater flush, but freshwater rinse system. So if you are getting any saltwater spray up there and you need to rinse it with fresh water, you simply hold the white button down and it will dispense fresh water and give you a nice clean windshield. Up top on the starboard outboard side, we have an additional MFD, so these will come in very handy. You can have one, as we show here, on your display or engine control systems, and then have a chart plotter, or you can set it up your own way and have dual function systems or split screens. Below that, we've got a new Goosey steering wheel, which is something new that we've introduced on the Coupe lines. It's very similar to what you have in your car if you're familiar with your paddle shift. It's basically the same thing, except they're not shift buttons, obviously. But behind each of these paddles, there's rubber dimples, and you can control your various boat systems in here, such as your volume on your stereo. Eventually, if you wanted to program, you could potentially program the trim of your engines. But currently we have set up the horn and the stereo system, some basic functions, or you can tie it to your MFD, but very nice system. You also have the ability to slide to the left or right, and the LCD screen is gonna display your speed and knots and different parameters that you want to set up. A very cool feature, I love using it. It's also a safety feature that I love because you're not having, if you are underway, you're not having to pull your eyes down to mess with your stereo system. You can do it all. You obviously get used to whichever button means what, and you control everything without actually looking down and taking your eyes off the horizon. To the right of that, we've got our controls, or our throttle controls. Again, this is a Volvo setup boat, but obviously this will be swapped out with Mercury throttles. And then just aft of that, we've got the Volvo docking system or joystick system that they operate. This boat has been equipped with the dock assist system, as well as Volvo's positioning system. So we can simply push buttons. It's going to hold us in place. We can push the docking system, control the entire boat, catwalk it sideways, diagonal, spin it around, all through the joystick system. So really enjoy this system. Very similar to the Mercury system, which is also fantastic. So it just depends which engine package you want to set up, but these are all options, or you can just go with your throttle and then you can use your engines, just like because the engine's so wide apart, you can use these. But I will say it is nice having this Volvo joystick system on board this boat as well as the Mercury system. Forward of that and outboard, we've got our VHF handheld, and just aft of that, we've got our control for our spotlight above. So very simple to use, on, off, and then you use a dial or push it, depending how you want to control it, side arc or up and down. Just aft of that, we've got a cell phone induction charging station, another cup holder, and then behind me, aft, below me, we've got our ignition switches, both for Volvo and Mercury, and we also have some USB connection points. Forward and just below the steering wheel, we've got access to our windlass system. So if you are single-handed or you have a novice crew on board, you can control your windlass from here without stepping into the bow, which is a nice feature. And then just to the left of that inboard, we have our fire buoy control system. Should a mechanical failure occur and you have to deploy your fire system, fire suppression system, you have the ability to do that here, but most of it is remote. We hope that never happens to you, but it is functional and is there. So that is that's our nav station. I will just go back to the performance of the boat with the foil, and whether you are with Volvo inboard system or whether you're with the Mercury outboard system. The cruise speed on this boat we find is very generous and very comfortable, anywhere from 25 to about 35 knots. And then a max speed on the 42 Coupe is right around 40 knots. So this boat gets up and moves very quickly. She's super efficient. With the Volvo inboard DPIs, she's a bit more efficient than the Mercury outboards. Not by much, but is a bit more efficient. But both engine packages have very similar cruise and top end speeds. Both engine options, depending on your draft. The Aquila 42 Coupe has a draft of 2 foot 10 inches. That's with your engines raised up, as well as your stern drives if you have Volvo inboards. If you have Mercury outboards, obviously it's the same thing. So when I say 2 foot 10, that's actually from the bottom of our foil up to the waterline. So that is our measurement for 2 foot 10. If you lower the engines down, the engines actually sit a little bit lower than the foil does. So if there is any sort of strike impact, your props or your blades before your props are actually going to shear or hit before your foil does. And speaking of that, just so everyone understands, the foil is built very similar to or mounted very similar to the way a keel on a sailboat is mounted. It's very, very secure. It will take a very strong hit. So we've not had any issues with our foils on board the boat, but amazing technology. So that completes our nav station. We're going to step down into our cabins now. Stepping down into the port cabin, what you'll see between the port and the starboard cabins is both cabins are almost identical. The difference being is in the port side you've got a full-size hanging locker, so we consider this the primary cabin. On the starboard side we lose a little bit of this cabinetry space because of the nav station, so that's why we consider the port side the primary cabin space. But regardless of which cabin you're in, both beds are facing aft. You have your headboard forward. Above that, you've got a nice deck hatch to let the breeze in the evening if you're in a cool climate and you're not running your heat or your air conditioning, and conditions are perfect for that. Outboard of me, or just behind me, you'll see 2 large hull side windows. So you have a fantastic view outboard, really amazing. Below me on the outboard side, you've got additional storage space below here. If you lift the mattress up, you also have additional storage below the mattress. Aft of the cabin, we have a full ensuite head with separate shower, single vestibule sink, and then we have a fresh water electric flush toilet system. So really nice setup, whether you're doing cruising here on the Med, or you're in the States and you're doing the Great Loop, or running back and forth to the Bahamas. It really is a nice setup for a couple and some guests on board. Very generous cabin, super comfortable. What more could you ask for? So let's step up above and we'll go take a look at the bow. As I move forward into the bow area, I want to point out some key features before I step into the bow. One of them, as you see, is overhead, is the hatch. Very large hatch that closes the coupe if you were to want to have it completely enclosed inside. Below me, as you see here, is a gate. It's fastened mechanically by magnets in the open and closed position. In the closed position, as you see here, if you wanted to enclose the salon area, this hatch would close, and again, your buttons for that are at the nav station. Comes down, closes completely, forms a watertight seal. Now, in the event that you were to take a big wave over the bow, which is unlikely because we have such a high freeboard height, we do have a fully integrated drain system that drains directly overboard at a very fast capacity. So once again, you can open this, step forward, and then you will move into the bow area, and we've got a tremendous bow area for seating. But before I get there, just a couple other features. We have 2 handrails coming forward, big beefy stainless handrails, great for support. We have flush mounted cup holders just right here, recessed. And then on both outboard sides, we have deck hatches that allow ventilation into your cabin spaces. Moving forward, we have sun lounging on both port and starboard for 2 people. Armrests up. In the up position, you could probably fit 3 people on both sides. But in the down position, you'll see that we actually have integrated cup holders throughout each armrest bolster. On the outboard side of both port and starboard, we have additional cup holders, and we also have slots in the stainless steel so that you can actually put your cell phones in, which is really nice while you're underway, so they stay safe and tucked away. You'll see that we have padded bolsters all the way around the foredeck area, and then we also have the capacity to walk down your gunnels all the way on the exterior of the boat down to your aft cockpit, or you can come through the center line through your salon and galley area. So now I'm going to move forward. We're going to take a look at the underhatch storage compartments as well as our ground tackle gear, and then outboard our storage compartments below there. You'll see on the port and starboard outboard side, we have storage lockers. Center locker is for our ground tackle gear, so I'll go ahead and open that one up. We have our windlass system. We have anchor and rode. It's stored right here in the center line of the boat, which helps with weight distribution. Both port and starboard lockers almost mimic each other. The only difference is on the starboard side, you have your windlass control, and on your port side, you have your freshwater deck washdown. Large capacity in there to throw fenders, dock lines, water toys, whatnot, whatever you need down below. So very generous space for storage. Additionally, we also have inlets for our manual sunshade system, which is an option from Aquila. So you'll see the silver inlets where you put your rods in, and then you have a canvas awning that comes down, gives you nice shade in the foredeck area. Really nice feature to get yourself out of the sun. You've got your access, you got a large standing deck up here, casting area, nice line of sight for view. Really great features up here. Overall, that's a 42 Coupe. I hope you enjoyed the tour on board. If you want to learn more why the Aquila 42 Coupe is a great boat for your water sports adventures, whether it's cruising or just day boating, take a look at us at aquilaboats.com or find your local Aquila dealer anywhere throughout the world. Again, my name's Elaine Ross, Global Brand Director for Aquila Catamarans. I appreciate your time and look forward to seeing you on the water.